Dr. Ruth Anderson and Sue Broome here with you for what we lovingly call Messages from Your Loved Ones. This is a time we spend once a month with you, and we invite you to put in the name in Messenger, the comment section, from anybody that you have loved and lost and would like to just connect in with a little bit today. And once we get that name from you and hopefully what that relationship was to you, then Sue focuses in on cards that she made. There we go. And that was under the loving care of her brothers that supported her in making that card deck. And then we just sit and focus in on that energy and share with you about that. So we're glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Sue Broome, thank you very much for being here.
Well, thank you. I always look forward to these Mondays with you and with all of the loved ones that show up.
Me too. And it is always exciting and fun to spend time with your loved ones. It just feels like we've gotten to know them a little bit. So we enjoy that. Let me just put a note here in the group or in the comments.
Yep, and I just shared it out to my page, so.
Okay. Sue, while I do that, do you want to take a minute and share how you came up with those cards?
Well, it's interesting. I've always wanted to do a deck on messages from loved ones, and it's like it wasn't feeling, like with my other decks, they just happened. They came out really fast, and it was after my brother Steve died. It was within, I don't know, I know it was within a couple months, and they just came out. What I started with is here's a list of, okay, well, what do I want the cards to say? What do I want each one? And I always like them kind of vague, so they bring a lot of meaning to so many people, and they're vague, yet they can be very specific for each person. But it was totally my brother Steve, and I know he had help from my brother Chris on the other side too. It was like they came out really fast. And even it was the biggest thing with the deck is I didn't want to come up with an image, a different image for every card. I didn't want that to be the focus, even though I think it's a cool image.
Mhm.
That came to me really fast too. It was like boom, boom, boom. So thank you, Steve. Thank you, Chris. My two brothers on the other side.
That's cool. Okay, let me see. Hey, Sue, can you look on? I'm afraid if I do it, I'll hear all the feedback. Can you look on Enlightened World Network and make sure A, that we're there, and B, that my comment got
Oh,
typed?
okay. Let me see if your comment. Because yes, we're there because I already shared it out.
Somehow my comment disappeared.
I am not seeing your comment though. No, because I can see the closed caption and I see disappeared, and it's like, yeah, it's not there. So, and Facebook has been acting weird, in my opinion.
Yes, yes, it has. Okay. All right. And now it wants me to reload the page.
You want me to type in a message?
Yes, but I wonder if I'm going to be able to.
I'm typing it on your page on Enlightened World Network.
If that showed up this time?
I just clicked in the comment box. If you want me to type a message, tell me what to say.
Why don't you type in, please share the name of someone you have loved and lost here, and we will feel into their energy together. And then we'll see, because if I can't see what people are typing, that'll be a problem. I'm just checking.
Okay,
See what I
I
can,
can see my comment.
yay, I can see your comment. Okay.
I don't know, the other day, even on my page, going to my page on Facebook, I couldn't see anything except my big banner. It wouldn't let me scroll down.
Yes, I had that same thing. Oh, Hope Wellington Marshall. Hope coming to us from the UK. Hope, thank you for being here, and we'll just get started with you, Hope. So she would like to hear from her Auntie Myrtle Bell Slew. S-L-U-E. Myrtle.
And Myrtle is, how do you spell Myrtle? M-U?
M-Y-R-T-L-E. Bell.
Bell. Myrtle Bell.
Myrtle.
Okay. I gotta make sure I'm hearing this right. Auntie. I've been watching a lot of shows from the UK. And just the language, it's really interesting. It's like, okay, wait a minute, what did they say? Wait, what are they talking about? And now I've been watching enough of them, so it's like, oh, I know what that means.
Myrtle Bell. And we're so glad to have Shiraz and Julie and Guthrie Smolson on with us. So, Julie, if there's somebody you would like to hear from as well, please add that in the comments, and we'll get to all of these. I'm glad you're here. Thank you. Myrtle Bell.
Makes me think of flowers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm right there with you.
And myrtle isn't like a flower, is it?
Crepe myrtle is a tree. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for some reason I'm getting flowers. All right, let's see what we got. Notice the scents and aromas. It's like, okay,
Can't make
thinking about flowers, be sure, well, and it's like, be sure, be sure to notice, because it's so funny, because yeah, you see the flowers, but it's sometimes you don't see the flower, but there's a scent of a flower, and you look around and it's like, well, I don't have any roses in here, why am I smelling roses? But so really pay attention to the your sniffer. But I also feel like it's with the flowers, it feels like things with flowers on them as well. Like I'm I'm seeing wallpaper. I'm seeing, almost like it's a picture with some of the background, part of the frame is got flowers. There's flowers all over, but it's twofold. It's seeing them, and there go the chimes. It's seeing the flowers, but it's also noticing the aroma, the scent that you might get just a light scent of, because it's almost like they're holding something and going, you know, making it waft over to you. And it could be something else other than flowers that you're picking up the scent of as well. It's kind of fun, is what it feels very fun.
Okay, so what I got was very first and foremost a yellow daffodil, like so yellow, just so bright and so vibrant. And then it switched into a field of very vibrant yellow daffodils. And what I heard was abundance. And what your aunt is showing us, I believe, is her version of the afterlife. And everything that I understand from the different readings I've been doing is that we get to create whatever we want that afterlife to be. And I'm seeing this beautiful, abundant, aromatic, although I don't know what daffodils smell like, yellow daffodils. And then she said, or I heard, all of this is waiting for you. And not that they're in any hurry, mind you, so keep that in mind. But whatever you want to be there will be waiting for you or for Sue or for, whoever, but for you. And then she showed me this white daffodil in this sea of yellow.
Mm.
And the white daffodil really stuck out. And I heard, because hope is special. And so she sees you, and I'm saying in the present tense because folks who are in the ethereal realm are currently with us. She sees you as special, and she adores you as special. So that's what we got, Hope.
That's really cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
And I can see yellow cactus straight outside my window, and just to the next to is white oleander. So I got the white and the yellow right there.
So Hope, if that meant anything to you, please put a comment into the comments so we know how that affected you, if it felt true to you. Shiraz Sayani, I'm not sure if that's how you say that, Saini. Shiraz is in India right now. Shiraz, I think it's the middle of the morning for you.
I think it is too.
Yeah. Shiraz would love to hear from Aunt Dinoo, Dinoo, post-Walla. She had a terrible passing on, she said.
Hi, Shiraz, and I guess it's about ants today.
It is. It's about ants. I thought it was going to be about moms, and here we are with the aunties.
Well, many times ants are like moms. I just recently had an aunt pass away just within the last couple months.
Oh,
So I'm sure she's around. Okay. Aunt Danu. I am free to soar. Oh, wow. That, that feels really good. It's like, so whatever the passing, however the passing was, it's like, oh yeah, I don't have to deal with that stuff. I don't have to deal with that anymore. And I'm seeing a couple of, it's like flashes of these things, partially, it's hard to see, but this is a feather up here. And it's like, there's a feather that is floating very gently, freely. But I also see it's, it's almost like the bag that I have for this. See how light this is? But it's like a scarf. It's a scarf or something, and you can see it like almost like wafting in the breeze, and nobody's hanging on to it, but it's just floating along very freely. And it's like the weight of the world is gone. And it feels really good. It feels just, yeah. That's not, the weight isn't there anymore. No pain. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's so freeing. And I feel like she tries to share that with you in different ways. You might notice feathers in front of you. You might notice something sailing across. It's like, should I run after that? So notice the things that fly in front of you. Not necessarily birds or butterflies, but things like a feather, a leaf, a petal of a flower. It feels very good.
And I was also getting laughter, which is lovely. Because that means that folks, as they pass on, are not weighed down by health issues. They're just not. They're clear of that. I heard laughter. So with Aunt Danu, this was interesting because I smelled cooking, but I didn't necessarily get that Danu was the one cooking. Or she might be partly cooking, but she was so much more than just the person in the kitchen. She would be telling stories to other folks over there. And I got that there's equal feminine energy as well as masculine energy. And so I could see Danu in the kitchen stirring a pot, but going over and telling stories with the guys. I mean, it's so interesting that there is as much masculine energy as I'm feeling with Janu right now. Um, I heard one of the gals and one of the guys. So interesting. But then I heard the laughter. I would love to hear, Shiraz, what your experiences with your aunt was. I'm sorry that the transition was so difficult. But Danu's past that. Danu's not living in that reality. So if you could let go of that reality when you think of Danu, because it's not real for Danu anymore, and it's not serving you in remembering her in that way. So, yeah. Um, and we have
I'm glad you added that end part. It's not true for her anymore. So it's okay to let it go.
yeah. Hey, Tammy, welcome, welcome. If there's somebody you would like to hear from, we would love to hear from someone you have loved and lost. And Julie Ann Guthrie Smolson would love to hear from Glenna.
So is Julie Ann Guthrie?
Julie Ann
Oh, Ann, got it.
Guthrie Smolson.
That's the Julie, okay. I'm not looking at the screen, so that's Julianne, I know, okay.
Yeah,
Julianne.
Glenna.
Okay, would like to hear from who?
Glenna, Glena.
It's so funny because yeah, I'm not looking at the screen, so I can't see. It's like, oh, that's Julianne that I know. Being a beach. Okay, that card fell out, Miss Julianne. Trust in yourself. I do. Uh, so I'm almost feeling like she still is. What do you call it? A cheering section. But I keep going back to the beach. There's something about the beach. And I can see the water, I can see the sand. The trusting, it seems like there's, yeah, she was your cheering section and still is. There's something that she is helping you through right now, Miss Julianne. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know transformation for you comes up a lot, but there is something that she is helping you with. It's like, okay, so what I'm seeing is the two of you walking together on the beach. Now, she might not be here in the physical anymore, but she's still walking with you. She's still there to support you. She's still there to go on vacations and enjoy and remind you to smell the salt air, put your feet in the water, enjoy the sunset, enjoy the sunrise. And walking on the beach is really clearing your energy, clearing things out. And I feel like trust in the process is a part of this also from Lena. So curious on that.
Um, First thing I got was food, but it wasn't just food. So this is odd because it was the smell and the heartiness of baked beans. And so I was asking about that, and it was like, okay, what about baked beans here? And I was getting the beach. I could go with the beach. It was like sharing a meal at the beach. And so I was asking, okay, so what is it about baked beans? Well, it was hearty and filling. And afterwards, you're sated. And it feels like that connection was satisfying in and of itself. Didn't really matter where you were together. I mean, think we all know somebody like that in our life, that just being with them, it doesn't matter where. And sometimes it's just a phone call, but just that relationship is just so satisfying. And that's what I'm getting with you. Julianne just cooked some beans.
That's funny.
She said, I live in her house. She must be watching me. Our reunion was at a beach, but we didn't go. She liked the beach and wanted to go to the high school reunion. Wow.
I like baked beans too.
That's funny. I've had a lot of foods come up in these readings, but never baked beans. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because sometimes as soon as somebody says a food, I can smell it. Even if it's like a picture of it, I can smell it. I wasn't getting the flowers before because sometimes that'll happen too, but it's like, oh no, but the baked beans I did. So thank you, Julianne, for letting that waft over this way all the way into Arizona.
That's funny.
Love it.
I don't think she's just watching you. I think she's with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes it's like she will, this is gonna sound weird, but it's almost like she steps into your body sometimes because she wants to feel the enjoyment of cooking again. But it's just it's a real quick, and it might only be, okay, she's stirring the pot of beans, I'm gonna stick my arm in hers. It's not like she's taking you over or anything, but I'm seeing that. Oh, oh.
Yeah, I don't really get the impression that she's been gone from her house.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
You're living in the same house.
She catches a glimpse of her sometimes. Yeah, I bet
Mm,
you are. I bet you are. Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Out of the corner of your eye, and when you see somebody out of the corner of your eye, don't turn to look because you won't see them, but it's like, keep watching them out of the corner of your eye.
Yep. Or I can see her like in a mirror. Like if you walk by a mirror, you might just catch a glimpse.
Mhm.
You never have to feel like she left you because she didn't. And you can just sit and as you're having a meal, just talk with her because I think she's right there. Yeah. She passed in the house behind me at her in-laws' home. Yeah, very sweet. Very sweet. Thank you for sharing Glenna with us today. Very sweet. Prachetta, I see you, and we'll get to you in a minute. Tammy Hill. Okay. Tammy says, lost most of my family, 5 brothers and sister, and my father. Lost my dad when I was 12, and I'm 57 now. How would I know that they know I have a granddaughter? Aw, would my grandparents know this too? I joke around my telling my daughter my granddaughter would be eating homemade cookies from my grandparents. Well, Tammy Hill, let's just sit here for a minute and see who among this large group wants to show up for you today.
And I also will say that keeping in mind that our loved ones on the other side meet the soul of the baby coming in before the baby is even here.
Yeah.
So they met the the grandchild before you did, Miss Tammy. All right, let's see what I got. Forgiveness is important. That's kind of a heavy one, and I don't know, Tammy, if you are feeling some form of guilt feels too strong, but there's something that, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna mention the Ho'oponopono prayer. And I don't know if I can say it in order, but it's, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, and can't remember what, there's 4 lines, it's Ho'opono is, well, I'll type it in the comments, but so you can go search it out and find it. But it's all about, forgiveness is about you, not about the other person. You're not forgiving the other person for what they did. It's like there's, because on a deep level, it's releasing you. It's thank you for giving me the opportunity, or the, you know, whatever it is. And so there's something, and you know, with that many people on the other side, maybe it's survivor's guilt. Some people feel that. So let that go. And the Ho'oponopono, I'm gonna type it in so you can just search it. It's a Hawaiian poem.
Yeah, there is a 4th line to it, and I'm
Yeah.
looking at it now. Yeah. So, oh, there we go. I think Sue might type this in. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Perfect.
Yeah. Thanks, Sue.
She's on it.
Yes, she's always on it. All
Yeah.
right.
So forgiveness. So Tammy, that is something that just takes a couple minutes a day, and say it in the mirror. And put it on your phone in your notes section so you have it with you, and just do it a couple times a day. Just feel it. I think that that's huge.
What it feels like to me, Tammy, is that your energy is spent probably equally in this realm and the other realm. And I know what that's like because I do that frequently. And then there's times that I go, no, hold on, I need to actually spend more time in this realm. So, but what I'm seeing right now is energy being spent really in both realms. And so when you said survivor's guilt, it was like, yeah, I totally feel that. And you don't have to feel guilty. Each of your loved ones had their time in body, and this is your time in body. So try not to spend too much of it thinking about them and the fact that they're no longer in body. This is your time to shine, your time to do all that you were hoping for when you came into this incarnation. Tammy was hoping to hear a message in particular from Gary.
Let's see here. I live forever in your heart. This is this image with the sun and the rays bursting out. I think about that as the love in your heart expands, the connection expands when you talk about them, when you remember them, even if it's just a quick thought, whether it's coming from them or from you, but it's coming from your heart. You're sending messages from your heart. They're sending messages from the love, from their hearts, from their essence. And it feels like even the beams of sunlight, it's like the beams of connection that are there. But they're never gone because they always are a part of you in your heart, no matter what. So I live forever in your heart. Remember that.
Tammy said, I just feel hurt because they're gone. I totally get that, Tammy. And yesterday, being Mother's Day, I was connecting in with some folks that had lost their children. And the pain, the grief of Mother's Day without their children was just palpable for them. The message that I got for them was, yes, of course, the grieving and accepting that bittersweet, because it is so incredibly bittersweet, but also finding and feeling the gratitude for every minute that you had with them here in this plane. And if you can turn some of that grief to appreciation and gratitude, sometimes that really helps in the moment. Sue, anything along those lines before I talk about Gary? Okay. What I saw with Gary, and I think I've seen this before with Gary, framed photographs that are faded with age, with like a backdrop of faded wallpaper. Gary has been around a long, long time in your existence. And I believe you and Gary have been in lifetime after lifetime together. And it's just a reminder that he was there with you then, and he's there with you now, and he will be with you in the future. Gary's definitely one of your people, one of your long time people. Yeah.
And that goes right to I live forever in your heart, because that heart connection is always there. Whether you're both on this side or one of you are on the other side, doesn't matter. It's always there.
Yeah. Yeah. Tammy, it's got to be hard having maybe even more people in the ethereal realm than you've got here in this realm. My heart goes out to you on that. Don't give up your time in this 3D realm because of that. Live this life while you're here.
Yeah. Ask them to help you live your life. It's because they don't want you to be stuck in grief, stuck in missing them. Because because the love is there. You're missing their physical connection, yes, but the love is always there. That connection is always there. And close your eyes, go back to a memory. When you're in that memory, you are there. Your brain doesn't know the difference. Go back into the memory. And if you start crying, that's okay. Allow yourself to cry.
Yeah, it's so hard, Tammy said. I think, Tammy, that they also come to you in your sleep.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's a joyful thing when they do.
Because then your mind is out of the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
very sweet. Getting back to Julianne and Glenna, she said, OMG, the smell of the food thing is Glenna's reference to the show Ghosts. The ghosts can only smell the food.
that's, I've never watched that show. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, sweet Pritchetta.
Ta-da!
All right. Pritchetta said it's her, so Pritchetta's mother and father have both passed. It's her mom's birthday on May 18. Coming up.
So she wants a message from her mom.
She would love to hear from her mother. Hmm.
I'm seeing flowers again. Miss Pachetta's happy birthday to you, Mom.
No.
Miss Pachetta, Mom. I send butterflies to you.
Hmm.
You know, the butterflies are interesting because there's a freeness to them. Everybody loves butterflies. I've never heard of anybody being afraid or scared of a butterfly or thinking that they're, yucky to see a butterfly. Everybody's like, oh, butterfly. But there's a lightness to them, and there's a connection to the butterfly as it's going from flower to flower, collecting. So they draw your attention to the flower, but also to the lightness. And you can't go pick them up unless you stick your finger out and allow them to come to you. And I feel like there's something in the message about the lightness, but also the flowers and the connection. So I just keep seeing, and it's many different flowers, many different kinds of flowers. But the butterfly, and it's not just one, I'm seeing multiple butterflies. They all do seem like they're kind of the same kind. But so I will also say, watch for the butterflies. And when you do, really connect with your mom. I don't know if she liked butterflies, or if when you see a butterfly, you connect with your mom. But there's the lightness and the connection. The lightness as in it feels like the heaviness of the 3D world that we're living in. Like even what Tammy was talking about, the difficulty of still being here and everybody else on the other side. Yeah, well, they're not feeling it. It's like it feels pretty light. It feels pretty light to them. So I send butterflies to you, Miss Prochetta.
I'm seeing the butterfly over marigolds,
Mm.
orange, bright marigolds. That's interesting. Well, and butterflies don't hang around you all the time. They flitter in with a look at me, I'm stunning, and they flitter out. And I think your mom, Pritchetta, probably comes in and she loved both flora and fauna. Yeah. I think she comes in kind of quickly, like, I love you. Okay, I'm out. Yeah. Yeah. Pritchetta, what your mother shared with me is that your father is with Pritchard. And I see her brother is in the army. And I see him like suited up, and he is right next to your brother, and he is making sure your brother's okay. Well, I think it's a message from your mother that try not to worry about your brother. He's not alone. Yeah, that's very sweet. Very, very sweet.
It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah. Well, Pritchetta, let us know how you are, please. May 18th, I think, when we come up to those anniversaries, it can be really, really hard. She said, my mother's like that. 1 minute here, another minute gone. Yeah. Yeah.
I used to see a lot of butterflies down in Green Valley. I don't see a lot here. And I know it's the flowers, that are here, but yeah, I just don't see a lot of butterflies here.
I had shared with Sue earlier when my mother-in-law passed, we got the call from my husband at hospice, and it was like 7 in the morning, and we decided to meet as a family for breakfast afterwards. So went up to the house, and there was a bush by the front door, and there were probably 25, 30 butterflies on this bush. And we'd never seen butterflies on that bush before, but it was like, okay, mom's okay. We got it. And then another time I was going through fabrics in my upstairs office, and it was her fabrics. And so, of course, I was thinking about her, and I looked out the window, and there was a butterfly hovering right at my window. I thought, okay, Mom, I hear, I feel you. I hear you. Yeah, very sweet. And Perchetta said she is very worried. I know. I know.
Yep.
Yeah. So Sue, that's all anybody's asking for at the moment. Any thoughts you would like to share? We were wanting to talk about Mother's Day a little bit when we came on today. Oh, before we do that, Perchetta said, my dad always used to share a drink with my brother. Since my dad passed away, my brother never enjoys his drink. Perchetta, when you can, when you speak to your brother, please tell him what your mom showed you about your dad being right there with you, with him, please. That would be lovely. Yeah.
You know, when we were talking beforehand, I said, yeah, I was wondering if mothers would come up because it does bring up a lot for a lot of people because so it's twofold. It's going to sound kind of interesting, kind of weird maybe, but so many people have mothers on the other side. My mom's on the other side, and it's been a very, very, very long time. Some people, it's just been recent, but some also, it's that they're just not able to spend time with their mother. And to reach out to your mother, whether it's, a quick phone call, a quick text, sometimes that's all they want, if you're not right there. But also, I'm feeling there's a grieving process with mothers who are by themselves, who would like to be with their families, who would like to be with their, their kids, their grandkids, whatever. And so I guess that's what's coming up. It's because Mother's Day every day should be Mother's Day. Every day should be a celebration. It's like, I never had kids But for crying out loud, they carried you around for 9 months, so you were a part of them for 9 months. And some of the cells of your body is in them forever. That's why mothers feel like there's something going on with Charlie. Oh my gosh. So there's so much that it brings up on both sides, not only for the people who are left here without their mothers, even though they're right here, but also for the mothers who are by themselves. Because their kids have moved away, or maybe their kids have passed away.
Right.
Yeah, so if there's somebody that you know is a mother and they're not, and they're, reach out to them.
Well,
So,
and sometimes, Sue, it's just that your relationship with your mother is not the relationship you want
yeah,
with the mother.
yeah,
So sometimes it's grieving about what you didn't get from that
yes,
mother.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I have a friend, and I've told her, I said, yeah, borrow my mom. She's there for you. Because she didn't have the relationship. And my mom was an awesome mom.
Yeah, sweet. Well, and there's also women that have never birthed a baby. I never birthed a baby. I'm raising two of them, but I never birthed them. But they're caring for other people or animals.
Yeah,
Just because you didn't birth one doesn't mean you're not being in a motherly way of sharing and caring and loving for. So, yeah, and I think sometimes it's just hard because we put all these expectations on ourselves because of these, what I'm going to call a Hallmark holiday. And Mother's Day is a Hallmark holiday.
yeah, it is.
It just is. And sometimes we just need to, slap on the blinders and pretend we didn't even notice what the day was. And that's perfectly okay too.
Yeah, because it absolutely is Hallmark. Oh,
Mommy said her mother had 10 of us, but mom had only 4 kids left. So did your mom birth 10 babies or took some in that she didn't birth?
yeah, I'm not quite following that either.
Yeah. I'm not sure what that means. Yeah. But Sue, I know that you care a great deal about animals. You care a great deal about grown adults that are older than you. So I you do a bunch of mothering, even if you never birthed anything. So I think all of us in some way are mothers.
Yeah, because nurturing is something that everybody does. I'm guessing everybody does at some point in their life. Nurturing is important. Yeah,
Tammy's mother had 10. Wow, had 10 babies. That's a
even,
lot.
yeah, I think about my mom, by the time my mom was 22, she had 5. It's like, uh,
Well, it's a good thing your mom got on it early because she wasn't around for all that many years.
no, she did get on it early. Yeah. Yeah, I know things were different back then.
Yeah, I can't fathom having 5 kids by the time I was 22. I would not have been a very good mother. I can assure you of that.
But I think my mom really enjoyed being a mother. She would take us places, young woman with 5 kids, and sometimes, there'd be a friend of somebody coming, so there was sometimes more than that. But she would take us places. I mean, I, I, I can't, I don't remember driving down there, but I know we went to Chicago Museum of Science and Industry.
Mm.
Isn't that, I think it's in Chicago. But I can't remember, maybe that was with a group that we went, but it's like, that's a lot. You know, brownies and Girl Scouts and all that. She was involved in all of that.
That's sweet. Yeah. All right, friends. Well, thank you so much for joining us with Hope and Shiraz, Julie, Tammy, and Iketa. Thanks so much, you guys. It was just delightful spending time with y'all today and with those beautiful souls of yours that you've loved and are no longer living with in the present. But so much love to each and every one of you. Sue Broome, thank you so much.
Thank you. And just remember, everyone, that grief is something you live through. It's gonna be there. Different waves of it is gonna come through at different times. Just allow yourself those moments. Because you will get through it. You will live through it. Call on your loved ones to be there with you, because they are.
Beautiful. All right, friends. So we'll see you in a month. Same time. When is it?
Same bat time, same bat place. June 9th.
June 9th. All right, friends. We look forward to seeing you then. So in the meantime, take good care.